Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back.
So we see here is 46, the leader of the free world.
He's gonna save the day, I just know it.
Here he is to save the day.
Hooray!
He certainly isn't Mighty Mouse or Underdog, that's for sure. No.
Better?
Yeah, Pedro. Uh-oh. Okay, you guys know about Pete. I think you do. Anyway, sad but true. Here he is, asking for a little direction. He has to ask. He says, okay, what am I doing now? You gotta step over here, sure. Yeah, right over there. Oh, right over there? Yeah, step over here. Okay. Now look forward and smile and just follow our lead. And we know how that ended last time when he got lost in the bushes.
Well, yeah, but he really does make a good puppet.
Puppets on the string.
He's always asking, what do I do next?
And meanwhile, there's Gavin Newsom arriving at the White House West Wing. What's he doing in there? What's he doing? He's meeting with FLOTUS right now. Yeah, I think there's been people that predicted that 46 won't make it the whole term, isn't there?
I think so.
And then, who's going to have any sort of confidence in Kamala?
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah. Now I can't see them pushing him through. Absolutely. And you want to talk about Texas leaving the Union. Hasta la vista.
Right. I mean, this would be one of the bigger in-your-face, this is a selection.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 81 million, huh? Well, it'll probably get 340 million votes next time. Oh, wait a minute. There's not 340 people in the U.S. legally.
That's just minor details.
Yeah. But, again, photo ops, smiling. Hey, looks like I belong in this place, he's saying.
He's kind of owning it, isn't he?
He is owning it. Absolutely. He's got everything down pat. Do the exact opposite of what you demand others to do.
Yeah, he has that political swagger.
Yeah. Political swagger, but not political correctness.
Exactly.
So this is sponsored content from Zero Hedge. And so this is basically an ad. And it's saying Biden retiring the dollar could be replaced with this. And we all know what's coming. And it brings up Executive Order 14067. And we know economic collapse, we know Great Reset. And Executive Order 14067 is all about digital currency. Exactly what the WEF wants. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So currency that can be absolutely, completely monitored and tracked. And we were talking about the IRS the other day. And now, if you want to pay your IRS bill online, you have to submit one of those smart IDs, and you got to take a selfie. Both. To prove that you're you paying your taxes. Now, I don't know about you and me. I would certainly love it if there were other people that were just dying to pay my taxes.
I know, right? Yes.
Who's going to go forth venturing and saying, I'll pay your tax?
You just sort of kind of never know, but they're going to use any excuse that they could possibly find to make sure that they get their money safely.
Again, this is all about that next level of technology. So they want the money system such that they could count and watch and monitor every single transaction. They want to have everybody's irises scanned, fingerprints scanned, DNA matched. They want to know everything about you, every single little thing about you. And this again is, we're just looking at puppets here. So, this agenda is the same WEF, globalist, whatever you want to call it, Luciferian, Illuminatian, bottom-dwelling, parasitic agenda.
We should do a Christmas song like the 12 Days of Parasites or something.
Yeah, exactly. That would be fun. Gold and silver have always been, something that you could count on. Now, silver's gone down recently. I just looked at 1928. I remember it was up around $28 at peak, but these things are always, things are always going up and then they're coming down, up and down, up and down. You could see the trend down here below. You see 2010 peak over there, and then we see 2020 at the moment. See the same thing. So again, we are not on the gold standard. We used to be, but what we should be looking at is, can history repeat itself? If they're going to come out with a new digital money system, they're going to want all the old money back, aren't they? I would think they're going to want the old money back. They wouldn't want that in circulation. We talked about those fentanyl-laced bills that are out there. But do you guys, and many of you do, I would love to see a survey of who knows this history and who doesn't. This is actual history. Under executive order of the president, issued April 5th, 1933, all persons are required to deliver on or before May 1st, 1933, all gold coin, all gold bullion, all gold certificates, now owned by them, to a Federal Reserve Bank, branch, or agency, or to any member of the Federal Reserve System. Yes, your gold, the government took.
Right, and I always loved the numerology, the good old 1933.
Yeah, 5/1/1933. So how many of you know that the government required the citizens to turn in all their gold? Does that not shock some people? As you see, Roosevelt orders 4-day bank holiday, puts embargo on gold, calls Congress. Yes, the government can still confiscate the gold. So my question is for you, are we very close to another gold confiscation? Because again, they don't want anybody being able to use any sort of money or anything of tangible value to work out a trade system that excludes the government from seeing every single transaction that's being done. And then, of course, getting their fair share. And when you look at the Federal Reserve System in and of itself, and this video will get buried just because of that, because they don't want you to understand how the monetary system works. Federal doesn't really mean it's part of the government, because the federal system is made up of private banks. The biggest banks that there are on the planet. Bank of America is one, Chase, JP Morgan, et cetera, et cetera. These are the real power brokers, and we know that famous Rothschild saying that they didn't care what puppet's on the throne, because the ones that control the money control everything. It's all about the money system and control of that money system. So could they take whatever gold you have in IRAs, in savings, gold certificates, physical gold? The answer is yes. So my question is to you guys, because, honestly, I'm not an expert on all things money. That's not something I want to be an expert at, because I hate the system. I detest the system. And so that's part of what has kept me from being a type of person that goes after hoarding anything. Because the system is innately, it's going to collapse, and it's very, very flawed. But if you're counting on your gold, your silver, and things that you have tangible to get you through, they can confiscate it. And, the executive orders have done it in the past, and they can do it again. As you see here from the 32nd President of the U.S., Executive Order 6102, requiring gold coin gold bullion, and gold certificates to be delivered to the government. Which really, it's again, this is the biggest scam in the world, but it works for them. It is a scam, and it works for them. When you think about this, creating these economic downturns, creating these periods of instability, creating these wars, they are all tools to bring about a desired result. And what's that desired result? Concentration of the wealth, and thus concentration of power.
You know, as is the learning system, the monetary system for sure, and the health system, the medical system that we have. They have this very neat and tidy system to keep everything within their reach. And if you step too far out of it, boy, it's like an alarm bell goes off.
Absolutely. So will they come for your gold? I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. And, here is another one. This is from Silver Monthly. Government confiscation of gold. It happened. It did happen before. Could it happen again? Well, what do you guys think? Can the government seize assets? Yes, they can. There's other executive orders in place where they can actually seize any property. They can actually seize any food stocks that you have in time of a national emergency. What is the Stafford Act? The National Emergencies Act. Anytime we have this, basically it's like rules go, the normal rule of law kind of goes out the window. And you're like in a martial law situation where, the law is just at the end of a gun barrel. And those that are holding the guns make the laws. This is, again, why the Second Amendment is being, basically shredded, or they're trying to. And so presidential declarations of a major disaster, emergencies, can enact different laws into effect where the government can do things that normally we wouldn't necessarily think could happen. As you look from this Independent Institute article, National Emergency and Private Property Rights, Historical Relations and Present Conditions. And private rights are eroding. They've totally eroded. World War I witnessed the suppression of private property rights on a wide scale. 1916, Congress granted the president emergency powers to seize materials, plants, and transportation systems. During the war, the government took over the railroad, ocean shipping, telephone, and telegraph industries, suspended the gold standard, and controlled all international exchanges of goods and financial assets, commandeered hundreds of manufacturing plants, entered into massive economic enterprises on its own account in shipbuilding, wheat and sugar trading, and building construction, lent huge sums to businesses directly or indirectly, regulated the private issuance of securities, established official priorities for the use of transport facilities, food, fuel, many other goods, fixed the prices of dozens of important commodities, intervened in hundreds of labor disputes, and conscripted nearly 3 million men into the army. In short, it extensively attenuated or destroyed private rights, creating what some contemporaries call war socialism. I think you should call it fascism. Really, absolutely. And all these things are still in play right here, right now. And actually, there's been more and more and more enacted. And tax rates go up and they stay up. They don't ever go back down, really. It just keeps going up. So in effect, it makes everybody a slave of whatever the government says. These are the cards they still have left to play. And this is why this won't be over until the entire system is rewritten. We cannot have this and move forward into a truly a new era. We have to move out of these governmental controls that can take everything you've worked your entire life for away in just one sweep of a pen stroke, one blink of the eye. It's all gone. Not only that, but they could put you to work.
Right, and just like Mike said, it's one push of a button, one strike of a pen, and then it's all over but the sniveling. And we should never, ever, ever let anyone take our power to that extent. But here we are. We're kind of sitting in this conundrum because we all need these things we've been given to survive from the system, from the houses to the AC, to the cars, to the jobs. We need food on our tables, roofs over our heads. But we can remake this. It can be done a different way. And we're coming up on an opportunity where we can seize that. We just need to be ready when it gets here.
And look at Trudeau playing with that little Boston Dynamics dog. We saw 4 of those being hauled by a 18-wheeler. And they were the size of, I would say, in between an F-350 and a tank.
They were huge, yeah. And intimidating looking on a very deliberate way.
And this was in Vegas, around, again, the entrance to the to Nellis Air Force Base, in that area. So, what he's happy because he knows at some point in time, no human's going to really listen to him. The soldiers, the army, everybody is going to end up rebelling against him. But he understands that his handlers have a virtual army of these type of things in mass, in large numbers. And it's just a matter of getting to that time when they roll out the technology. So again, this is a long haul that we're in, and we have to basically be resistant the entire way. And this is cute. A live look at the economy. Don't you feel like this? All fun and games, is it not? That looks fun. You ever go out for a ride in a monster truck? I've been on one of those hydrofoils in the Everglades. That was a blast. But I tell you, I hope they're not in the Everglades because that water's getting deep. It's getting deep. It's getting deep financially around here, too. Things are not looking so good. Was this planned? What's going on, guys? That looks like you're taking in a little bit of water. Looks like the ship is starting to leer. It's starting to... Uh-oh. Oh, shit. Better hope there's no gators.
Oh, my gosh, I know, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So as always, guys, be prepared as much as you can. Again, growing your own food is always a good thing. And trying to work with each other. Work with each other in every way possible. We know people that are actually burying stuff on their property. They're actually putting food and goods in barrels, making sure the barrels are sealed, and they're actually digging holes and burying stuff. This is what some people are thinking it's going to come to. And again, it's better to be prepared than caught with your pants down or caught in really muddy water where you can't see gators.
Yeah, that would be bad. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Thanks for your support on Patreon and Ko-Fi. Much love. God bless and namaste.
Namaste.